Welcome guys to John's Football Channel. This is your reaction video of the Champions League knockouts release, basically, of how we are going to play each other in the Champions League. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Champions League shapes up, knowing that certain teams have drawn certain teams in certain sides of the Champions League finals. So let's take a look at our first one. Our first one, obviously, we're going to take a look at is a very interesting one. Is Newcastle against Barcelona. Barcelona, we know, is a decent side in Spain. They're obviously the best there. They know they have history in the Champions League, very good history. They have a very good prestige. Newcastle is the kind of team now trying to get into that mold of becoming one of the top teams. So it's going to be a case of how does it shape up? Who gets the better results? Does Newcastle end up creating troubles at St. James's Park? We know that stadium is a very difficult stadium to play against. So do they get an upper advantage in that stadium when they play them away? Or does Barcelona also at the Camp Nou actually hurt Newcastle? So for this game, it's going to be quite interesting to see how who gets into the front, who takes the lead, and who goes into the quarterfinals. So looking at their stats, Newcastle is currently 11th in the Premier League. Barcelona's first, 1 wins. Newcastle have 10, while Barcelona have 20. Although it is not necessarily based on this, but we know that who's in form and who's been doing well lately. Newcastle's biggest win is 4-1. Barcelona's biggest win is 6-0. Ironically, they both biggest loss is 4-1 respectively each. Liverpool beats Newcastle 4-1 and Sevilla beats Barcelona 4-1 as well. So going into this game and going into this last 16 with Newcastle and Barcelona, the only first ones. That was on the 18th of September last year. Barcelona ended up winning 2-1. I don't know if it would be the same this season. Let me know down below what you guys' score prediction would be for this game. But yeah, I think we're going into this game. I think Newcastle have the opportunity to actually get in and actually take all 3 points. I think they obviously need to play. They obviously have to play well. This is Barcelona. It's not like they can just be decent and pull through. They are in the last 16 now. The game is serious now. Everyone's taking it seriously. Everyone's prioritizing the Champions League. So yeah, I think at the Camp Nou, I think Barcelona might be a draw, and I think at St. James's Park, I think Newcastle will actually edge it. So yeah, I think overall probably it would be 3-2 on aggregate, and I think Newcastle can actually progress to quarters. Now let's take a look at the next one. We're having Atletico Madrid against Spurs. Very interesting two teams that Spurs has not been doing well lately. And Atletico Madrid also is still up there with Real Madrid and Barcelona. They're not far off, but they also haven't been doing their best. I mean, Atletico Madrid are 4th in the Spanish league. Spurs is 16th. I suppose you could say that form goes out the window into some respects, knowing that it's a different league, it's a different players, a different team you're playing against. But you could actually say that form and how the team has been going throughout the season will also put a question mark as to how well they play. Like I said, Newcastle is also a very big team in the Premier League. Spurs is up there still, I suppose. It's going to be a question whether going into the next few seasons, do they actually decline, or do they actually stop that decline? Okay, so let's look at this. Spurs is a kind of team where I think this season they're very strong, or a bit stronger in attack than defense. With Atletico Madrid, I just feel like obviously we all know them for being a very defensive team. So I think it could be a case of Spurs trying to break down Atletico Madrid. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I think Spurs actually might lose this. I think Atletico Madrid might be able to hold them off and then just catch them on counters and actually get the results against them. I think I don't think Spurs will win. I don't think Spurs will win both games. I think Atletico Madrid will have them in their pockets for both games for this fixture. Let's take a look at the next one. And obviously, Atletico Madrid only played them once recently, and Atletico Madrid won against Spurs. So that also plays a factor. I think also subconsciously in the last game we won, and we're having the. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Next one is Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt against Sporting. That's going to be a good game. I think Bodo Glimt, in a way, is lucky that they've had an easy game because they could have had any other big team, and I think that would have killed them. But now they actually have an opportunity to progress a bit further. Even though they've been doing well without actually needing any assistance from UEFA to give them good fixtures. They've been able to kill whoever they want and whoever's been in front of them, basically. Bodo Glimt, surprisingly, that the league is about to start. They haven't actually played any games. Their seasons run from March to November, so they're yet to stop playing the league. And then, yeah, so it's a question of how fit can Bodo Glimt keep themselves in order to play against a Sporting side who is constantly playing. They're playing week in, week out in Portugal League. So I think they'll be able, in that aspect, I think they'll be able to have an advantage over Bodo Glimt. I think it just depends on how well Bodo Glimt can keep fit and keep sharp for this game. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you guys' score prediction would be for this one as well. I think the fact that Bodo Glimt hasn't been playing games, I think Sporting might edge it. I'm going to probably see maybe 2-1. I think maybe it can be a draw in the first game and then 2-1 in the second. And then we have Arsenal against Leverkusen. Arsenal's been doing well lately in the Champions League and the Premier League. So Arsenal's first in the league. Leverkusen sixth in their league, in the German league. The biggest wins. Arsenal has beaten Leeds 5-0. Leverkusen has beaten another German side 6-0. And then Leverkusen's biggest loss is 4-1. Arsenal's biggest loss is 3-2 to Man United. So you can clearly see with Arsenal's losses, if you just take their biggest loss, although they lose, they're not losing that badly. Like it's not like it's 4-5-0 or whatever. And they shouldn't, because they've been having good players in their team this season. So it's just showing another example of how strong Arsenal is, and that it's going to be very difficult to break them down. I think Leverkusen, it could be either or. Leverkusen could be the type of team going into this game where, okay, we're gonna press you, we're gonna keep you in your side of the field, but it's a question of can they keep them there? Because if Arsenal can get ahead of them, Leverkusen will leave their backline exposed, and that's probably where they can concede. If Arsenal score first, I think it's done, because we know Arsenal have a very good defensive record. They're able to shut off games, they're able to score 1 or 2 and then just kill it. Although the last 2-3 games they haven't done so, but if you look out throughout the season, they have been able to do so. So I think hence why they should be able to do it again. But yeah, I think if Leverkusen scores the first, I think Arsenal wouldn't be necessarily sure what to do. Do they just keep playing the ball or do... I think Leverkusen needs to definitely get the first goal first. And then they see what Arsenal do, and then I take it from there. Then we have the other side, which is Atletico Madrid. Atalanta against Bayern Munich. Atalanta against Bayern Munich. Two top teams that are going to each other. I think for this game, I think Bayern Munich should be able to beat Atalanta. It's not going to be easy. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this game. I think Bayern Munich should be beating them, maybe I would see 4-2 on aggregate. I think that's how I would see it. Bayern Munich and Atalanta have good attack. Atalanta, I think, doesn't have the best defense, but So as I was saying, Atalanta and Bayern Munich is going to be a very big game, but I think it's going to be very entertaining for the neutrals because we know what capable they both are. Can Atalanta pull off a result? I do think so. I think if they are very well compact, I think they can actually get it. I think this is going to be a good game to prove it to a big team. A scare, so now basically, they can actually scare with this game all the other teams around them. I don't. Can they do it? Will it actually happen over 2 minutes? Game maybe out of the question, and I don't actually think so. I think maybe even the first. I think let's have a shocker. We have Man City against Real Madrid. That's another very interesting team. Probably also 3-2. And two teams that are going head to head. Obviously, in the last 2 games, this is actually quite interesting. Last 2 games, Galatasaray 5 games. Galatasaray has won 1. It's actually quite. Madrid has won 1. Then we're going to the biggest one. Oh, sorry, of the one where we actually going to watch. All the other 2 games have been draws. So Chelsea against PSG. Real Madrid, in a sense, have the. We know we actually will be similar edge, have an edge over them. So can we the constant pull off against the other? I think, but in the last game, I think this Man City obviously having this mindset saying no. I think they can also cannot do it again. Come on, guys. Who we support? Who's gonna actually? We need to go all the way and say. And I think obviously, no matter what, interesting to see. We're gonna actually happen in that sense. And I think obviously, Man City is a stronger team. We'll do it again. I think they should be able to do in order to prove it to ourselves the next round and prove it to the rest of the country. That was not a fluke. There was not a one-off thing where they were lucky and they just had a bad day. We deserve to win that World Cup, and we want to convince people we deserved it. And we actually first day because we actually were the better team. And then I think in the second, that's when everything is on the line. And I think that's when both teams are open and exposed. PSG's biggest win is 5-0. Let's take a look at our next one. Us is 5-1. Obviously, losses Galatasaray and Liverpool. And their also biggest losses 3-1 as well. For this I'm actually quite intrigued to see how Victor Osimhen goes against Liverpool. This game maybe can be 2-2. And I think he can be a team. I just look at him on his own, and I think, okay, wow, this guy can actually hurt his team, Liverpool, and just defend until. But it will be a question of Van Dijk and Konate maybe. So let's take a look at defense actually holding all plays out. Victor Osimhen, I think, obviously Chelsea will be playing that kind of in the next round. Chelsea should have paid that money for him. I think Man City will be playing Bayern Munich. And then between those 2 teams, I think this is going to be a very good game to prove it. I think Chelsea. I think it will be a question. I think Liverpool can beat us. I think they do have a decent team. I know luck is just determined how does he still have his team with it. Is his team still willing to fight for it? If it is, then I think Chelsea do lose. But I think. And then Liverpool learn the lesson. So I think Liverpool will beat Chelsea, and then let's take a look at I think Man City actually beat 2 games Bayern Munich. Interesting. And then in the last 2 games, Galatasaray played Liverpool. Galatasaray, and then I think Man City goes. That's actually quite. And then if we look at the first one, then we're going to the biggest one. Other side, I think Newcastle can beat Barcelona. I think it will be a Newcastle against Atletico Madrid against PSG. I think Bodo Glimt will obviously play. We know what we did against them in the World Cup. I think it depends. Can we either or Sporting off again? Your Koreans can play his own team. We need to. I think there's people having this mindset. For me, I'm gonna say cannot do it against Come on, guys. And then Atletico Madrid against Newcastle. We need to go all the way. Newcastle against no matter what team don't you think we're gonna back? Does Newcastle have the team? We've done this before and we'll do it again. Don't think so. And I think we need to in order to prove it to ourselves. I think Atletico Madrid might get to the rest of the upper hand. Country that then I think Arsenal obviously was not a one-off thing where they were lucky and they just had a bad day. Arsenal and Man City we deserve to win that Club World Cup thing. So guys, let me know down below what you guys think. And this is my reaction to the Champions League. So I think Liverpool will beat Chelsea, and then I think Man City actually beats Bayern Munich, and then I think Man City beats Liverpool, and then I think Man City goes to the final. Then if we look at the first one, on the other side, I think Newcastle can beat Barcelona. I think it will be a Newcastle against Atletico Madrid. I think Bodo Glimt will obviously play Arsenal. I think it depends. I think it can go either or. Sporting, your Koreans can play his old team, or Bodo Glimt can actually play Arsenal. For me, I'm going to say Bodo Glimt against Arsenal, and then Atletico Madrid against Newcastle. Then Newcastle against Atletico. I'm trying to think Does Newcastle have the team to continue? I probably don't think so. So I think Atletico Madrid might get the upper hand, and then I think Arsenal obviously will be playing Atletico Madrid, and I think Arsenal will go through. So I think Arsenal and Man City will be in the final. So guys, let me know down below what you guys think. This is my reaction to the Champions League.